Ben 10 has to be one of my favorite cartoons of all time. The characters aren't really what I care about. I mean, they're fine, I guess. It's more about the story and lore. Like, a kid finding a watch in outer space that could turn him into 10 different aliens. Just a cool concept. I love it. My favorite episodes of the series is when Ben finds something out new about his Omnitrix, or where he visits his future self. Those interactions are great. I love it. I love all the dramatic action and themes and all that crap inside the original. It's just what made Ben 10 lovable. But I obviously didn't grow up with Ben 10. Introduction to the series was actually kind of strange. While I was at my dad's house, my brother was nagging me about watching this new cartoon called Ben 10 or something. I forgot. It was such a long time ago. So we watched it, and I loved it. It was an awesome show. I liked it from the start. The Ben 10 reboot was a stronger part of my childhood. Like, I had the Ben 10 Omnitrix. I also had got another Omnitrix, which both of them are lost, unfortunately. I also have the Ben 10 Rust Bucket reboot version, but that's at my grandma's house, and it's broken by one particular person that I won't have to my sister. Yeah, she broke my dang Ben 10 Rust Buckets, which I was mad about. So I got this Ben 10 action figure, which his arm broke off. Or was it his leg? I don't know. And I was also sad about that too. So that's basically all the Ben 10 merchandise I had. But the point is, I loved the Ben 10 reboot. It was an awesome part of my childhood. But as I grew up, I started drifting more and more from Ben 10. I mean, like, it's natural. Like, I seen the reboot crap. Like, they had space droids. I watched the Ben 10 movie. I thought it was pretty good at that time. I should probably go rewatch it. So I was just growing up without Ben 10, and then somehow I legit forgot. I do not remember how I discovered the original Ben 10. Yeah, and I loved it. I was like, ooh, this is so cool. I like it. And I kept on watching, engaged in the fandom, and here I am today. So that other day, I was at my dad's house in the store too. I was looking for something to watch after I watched the movie, I guess. I was like, let's go revisit my childhood and watch the Ben 10 reboot. So I clicked it on and watched it. Sat there. And I literally was like, oh my god, that was the most boring 11 to 12 minutes of my life. Nothing happened. There was no high stakes or anything in that episode. So I'm delicately against watching Ben 10 the Ben 10 reboot. I know it's already ended and it's 2022. Nobody cares about it anymore. But still, I tried to search for somebody pooping on this bad piece of content. But there's barely anybody there. There's always somebody saying that the Ben 10 reboot was actually not bad, which they're completely wrong about. So I've taken it upon myself to crap on this 4 seasons of brain-melting madness. Spread what I think about the Ben 10 reboot. Alright, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. The art style. This is a similar situation with Omniverse, which I have no idea why people hate this style of Omniverse. Like, what the freak is wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. I encourage it, in fact. It looks pretty good to me. But still, there's a core difference. Omniverse is more unique and all around cooler than it. And the Ben 10 reboot is, well, I don't want to say bad, but I'm just mixed in the middle. On one hand, I agree with the people saying it's not too good. On the other hand, I agree with the people saying, well, it's not bad, but it's pretty much of a downgrade. So yeah, I stand somewhere in the middle. I think it's a downgrade from Omniverse, but it's pretty much just a whatever thing. Alright, let me go into rant mode over here. Let's talk about the face. You know the face on Grandpa Max and the face on the other Bens in the Ben 10 crossover special, I guess. I never watched it. Why is this face on the characters? It looks so ugly, bro. Like, why? Look at it. Look at it. You think that looks appealing? Grandpa Max looks so much better in the original. Now he's just fat. And with that stupid looking face that's copy pasted on the other Bens. Look at it. Look at this trash. Like, who decided to put that face on there? I don't mind Ben, Gwen, or any other young person's face. But they put that face on him, and it looks bad. Small eyes, the nose, like, ugh. Why is the eyes so small and the nose just is right there and it's kind of big? I don't know how to describe it. Like, look at it. Ugh. Those combination of facial features on his face doesn't work at all. Right, rant time over. Well, the humans don't look too bad, except for Grandpa Max and all the copy-pasted faces on the Bens. But everything else, let's talk about the aliens. Oh God, where do I begin? The most major change is Stinkfly, and that's all I can remember. Stinkfly is the most major change. So let's talk about Stinkfly. Like, the design is just, They made him to sell toys, that's it. Like, the other Stinkfly actually looked like he belonged on a like, interterrestrial planet. Like, they just ruined him. Like he's just a humanoid Stinkfly thingy. Like, he's just a human, but put fly things on his head and color him blue and put wings on it. That's basically him. The same can go for a few other aliens like Wildvine. The other Wildvine had humanoid features, but not too much, to the point where it looked like just a humanoid well, like, whatever this is. I get it. These things were made to sell toys, so they had to redesign the aliens to make them more marketable. But they didn't add any charm to them. They're just humanoid costume wearers. The overall style is just bright, colorful, and marketable. That's basically how you describe it. Now let's talk about the worst aspect of the show. The story. I could just say the whole story in like 5 seconds. Crazy little twerp fights alien weird thingies peoples. That's all you need to know. Alright, I'm joking, of course, but that's as basic as it gets. Story is just really episodically boring. I was literally watching an episode that I reminisced on my childhood like it was very good. It was literally trash. Utter trash. It was just boring. I hated it. It was just filled with slapstick comedy. It was not even good slapstick comedy. It's just your basic, standard slapstick comedy. Funny. Main character gets hurt. Ha ha ha. I love it. Keeps it away from his goal. Original Ben 10 was dramatic, and it had all the pieces laying together, and it was just good, all around good. Now it's just comedic, ha ha ha. Main character solves his goal, boring action, then climax. Like, who wants to watch that? Then they try to sell more toys with other Omni enhancements, like the Shockwalk enhancement, the space flying drone thing I mentioned earlier, and like the Boogie Mobile, I guess that's all I know. Haha, let's talk about the villains. They are boring cardboard cutouts. They're like your stereotypical every day of the week you fight this new reoccurring villain, and his name is Steam Smites, and then they fight for a bit. There's a new concept introduced, and then Ben defeats it, and then that's it. That's the end. Woo, yay. entertaining for everybody. It's a generic kids show, but it's also boring. I've watched plenty of generic kids shows, but at least I get some enjoyment out of it. Not just this boring plainness I get while watching the Ben 10 reboot. I mean, probably a lot of other shows like that. I haven't watched the reboot of Powerpuff Girls, but I'm sure it's the worst thing in the world. I mean, like, for Teen Titans Go, for example, I know it's bad, and the humor is legit potty humor, horrible, but I get the slightest bit of enjoyment out of it. I mean the slightest bit of enjoyment. But I can't say anything about it. Ben 10 Reboot is all around just the worst type of blandness ever. It's the worst case of blandness. You get no enjoyment out of watching a show you know you screwed up. Alright, this related sidetrack over. Let's talk about the characters. Ben and Gwen's dynamic really shocked me when I first watched it. I was like, alright, so Ben and Gwen meet and... Wait, what the freak? Why aren't they being dickheads? I was so used to watching the original that I didn't know. I just thought all Ben and Gwen act like that. That's their entire dynamic. But in the reboot, they're more sibling-like and nice to each other, so that's pretty good. No, scrap that. It's not pretty good. It's fine, I guess. I don't really care about that dynamic. But I think Ben is he's just lazy and annoying. Generic kids protagonist that is an idiot that learns his lesson. I mean, like, let's not act like Ben was not an idiot in the original. Yeah, he was, but he was at least likable and understandable, and he had good morals, but... This one, I don't know how to describe it. It's just worse somehow. Let's just talk about Grandpa Max. He was just Grandpa Max. There's really nothing else to say. Dumb old man. But I like the original Max more. He was more intimidating. I guess I didn't really care for Max in the original, but he was at least cooler with his plumber background. But in the recent episodes, I've heard that they tried to imply that the reboot Max is a plumber too. But whatever, I don't care. He's a plumber, so what? It will never be explained. Also, the show ended. Goodness gracious, thank God. There's some good things about the show, and I'm gonna give it some slack because it tried on this part. I'll say tried. So, the episode where Vilgax is introduced, it was pretty good. We still won't top the original, but it was pretty good. Like, I like the drama and stuff where Ben has, Ultra, what was it called? I don't know. I forgot it. Where you could just switch through aliens very fast. That was pretty good. I liked it, that scene. And there was just real tension. They thought Ben was going to die, but of course he wasn't, because Ben 10 equal generic. That's why. So, yeah, that basically happened, and then, yeah. When Ben 10 Reboot is trying to be more story-based, it gets kind of good. I'll give it that. But normal Ben 10, yeah, no, it's not doing it for me. So, in conclusion... The Ben 10 Reboot can go suck Cartman's